For service and devotion, you would think that I would deserve a bad promotion. Want to move ahead, but the boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that...
Ricardo, put this magazine down. Do something useful and sign this union card.
Don't start on me. I already told you and organizer that I don't want to sign. I don't want to get involved.
But Ricardo, you are involved. You work here.
And I want to keep on working here. Would you lower your voice, please?
I will not lower my voice. I want to work here, too. I've been working here for 10 years, and I just want the respect due me.
Look, as long as you do your job right, nobody bothers you.
Since when?
This country has laws to protect us.
What about the time your sister got suspended for 2 days because she had to leave early to pick up her sick child?
They have rules, don't they?
Yes, Ricardo, but fair ones. What about the time the foreman's brother got promoted over your father?
But what guarantee do we have a union? We may have to pay our dues and get nothing.
Ricardo, we have one guarantee. If we don't have a union, we have nothing for sure.
Oh, Vanelda, you don't understand. The manager likes me. I'm gonna make supervisor soon.
Hey, Anna, wait a minute. You want to ride to the union meeting?
Oh, no thanks, Mark. I just don't have time for the union.
What do you mean?
Mark, I have to go home, I have to cook supper, I have to do the dishes and get the kids' lunches ready for tomorrow. I have to...
Okay. I don't need your whole week schedule. I just think you ought to come and vote in the officer's election.
Offices? I don't need any offices. Just some more big shots to tell me what to do.
But Anna, what if you have a problem? Who's going to help you?
I don't need any help. Look, I've got 4 bosses here, I've got a boyfriend, and I've got 3 sons at home. That is about all the help I can stand.
You don't understand, do you? The union's not like that. Nobody wants to boss you around. It's just a chance for everyone to say what they think.
Oh, sure. I understand. If it's a chance for everyone to say what they think, then how come they only post the union notices in English?
You're just full of excuses. If people don't participate, the union can't be strong.
Come on, Anna. Mark's right. The kids can eat sandwiches for one night. We know the union isn't perfect, but you should have seen this place before we had a union. Then you know how important it is, too.
Oh, this all sounds very nice. I'll tell you what. You vote for me, Mark, okay? I trust you.
Are you in a union? Do you have friends or relatives who are in unions? Have you seen stories about unions on TV? Most people who work for a living have heard about unions, but not everyone knows what a union is. How did your union start? How does a union work? What is a union contract? What is the grievance procedure? Who makes decisions? If you are a worker, it's important to know the answers to these questions. A labor union is an organization of workers who join together to obtain decent wages, decent working conditions, and respect. About 20 million workers in this country belong to unions. A union is many workers speaking together with one voice. Labor unions do not just appear at workplaces. They must be voted in by the workers. The workers vote by secret ballot for or against the union. Before the election, people discuss and argue. They spend a lot of time talking about whether a union is good to have or not good to have. This period of time is called the organizing drive. During the organizing drive, you may be asked to sign a union card to ask for a union election. Sometimes people are worried about signing a union card. There are laws that protect people who participate in unions from being fired. This includes signing a union card. When 31% of the workers have signed cards, they can file for an election. A government agency called the NLRB, National Labor Relations Board, will give you a date for an election. They will also run the election to make sure it is fair. If the union wins, the next step is to negotiate a union contract. A contract is a document signed by the union and the employer that guarantees certain wages, certain benefits, and certain rights. Many people think that workers' rights in this country are guaranteed by law. A few are. Most rights, however, are only guaranteed by a good contract. For example, workers have no legal right to health insurance. You may have health insurance in a non-union workplace, but employers can take it away anytime they want. Job security also is only guaranteed by a contract. In a non-union workplace, you can be fired anytime the employer thinks that you work too slowly, talk too much, wear your hair too long, etc. A contract has a weight of laws, and the employer must follow it. Workers participate in getting a good contract in several ways. First, they choose a negotiating committee. The negotiating committee sits down with the company to discuss or argue about what to put into the contract. For some workers, higher wages might be the most important thing. For others, it might be a health and safety committee to make sure that workers don't get hurt or killed on the job. The negotiating committee will try to hold out for the best contract they can get. When they think they have a reasonable offer from the company, they will bring it to a membership meeting. Here, all the members can vote whether to accept or reject the contract. If they reject it, the negotiating committee goes back to the bargaining table to try to get a better contract. If the company does not offer a better contract, the majority of the workers may vote to strike. Strikes are sometimes used to pressure the employer to give the workers what they feel they deserve. However, both the union and the employer like to avoid strikes because they cause a lot of hardship. Strikes occur in only about 1% of all contract negotiations. If the membership votes to accept the contract, they start working with new protections, wages, and benefits. One of the most important items in your contract is the grievance procedure. The grievance procedure gives every worker the right to make sure the contract is followed. For example, suppose the contract says that overtime must be given out by seniority. Suppose your supervisor has a favorite and always gives the work to that person instead. If you've been passed over, you can speak to your shop steward. Your shop steward is someone you elect or someone who is chosen to represent you. Your shop steward will speak to the supervisor and try to resolve the situation. If talking doesn't work, the steward may file a grievance. If that doesn't work, the complaint may go to arbitration. At arbitration, the union argues your case, the company argues its case, and a neutral person decides if the contract is being followed. However, most grievances are resolved at the early stages. A union is democratic. This means that decisions are made by voting. You vote for the union. You vote to ratify your contract. You vote for your officers. You vote for your shop stewards. Everyone has the right to voice opinions at union meetings. You are the union, not the officers or the steward. You elect them to represent you. Everyone is entitled to a copy of the union contract so that you can stand up for your rights. In a union, as in any group, sometimes people disagree or get angry about how things are done. If you participate in your union, you can help make things the way you want them to be.